We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here. As it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Green Bay Packers.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. They'll run. This is Bashal Tutin. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there on second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
79 Broncos. Ready, ready, ready. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready, ready.
Now Richardson. This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the two of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 31.
Come on, come on. Hey, go.
Richardson to throw off play action. Another catch there for Waddle.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Richardson.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Again, it's Richardson.
Man, and he hits him in stride. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are on the board first here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
At their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Anytime you hear the term an explosive run, most teams I know define that as any run over 10 yards, and they got that and more. How about a lot of credit for the big guys up front? That offensive line firing out, creating plenty of space, and a big run ensued.
You look at this Packers defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Back to throw. Hoskins. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught downfield by Neighbors. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Malik Neighbors with career touchdown number 75. And the Raiders respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Packers. Brayshaw Turton with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. You look at this Packers defense, and they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
That's complete. It's Neighbors. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Hoskins. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. On now is Andres Borregales to try the field goal. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Second and 10.
18, Rattler, 18, ready? Panther 60, Panther 60. Ready?
Now it's Richardson. And Walker has it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. The Packers in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Get it. Viking, 18. 19 tight, 19 tight. Get it.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 10.
79 Broncos. Tag. 19 Lions. Mustang 19.
Now Richardson back to throw it. And it's caught. It's Xavier Worthy. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Ready up.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Ready. Panther 11. Hawk 70. Hawk 70. Chop 60. Chop 60. Ready.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Open man. He's got his tight end, Elijah Arroyo. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, this can happen when you get man coverage on a tight end. This is a nice route. He's just going to run a corner to the left side and find some open space. That's asking a lot to make a linebacker run with him. And this ball's on the money as they pick up a first down.
Richardson looking to throw. That's taken in by Arroyo. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Come on. Ready.
Here's Richardson to throw. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity.
Ready, ready.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's second and goal.
Here we go. Here we go. Go.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now from back at the 5, this is third and goal.
Here we go. Set. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. 18 Rattler. 18. Ready.
Richardson looking to throw this. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Looking to throw. Richardson. They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Bashal Tootin with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Moody good with the extra point. And the lead now up to 14.
Packers 24, Raiders 10.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
their own 36-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Off play action. Hoskins. He finds his man complete. It's Wolf. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Four receivers on the field. It's 3rd and 4. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Nice pickup. 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
On 1st down, it's Wolf. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This is 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Hoskins. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner 1st half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Hoskins. He finds his man complete. It's Wolf. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
And the Raider 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Wolf. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun. Hoskins. That's caught right side. It's Warren. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Up the middle they go. Wolf. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Let's go. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Hoskins. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Packers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, That's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Ready.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go now. Panther 6, Cowboy 80. Ready.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Let's go.
Back to throw. Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
60 Bison. 60 Bison.
Back to throw now on first down. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Second down and 4.
Come on, come on. Set. Cougar 19. Ready.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Panther 60. Panther 60.
Back to throw. Richardson. You've had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. 1 second, all that remains.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Hoskins. That one taken in by Neighbors. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
There's Chris Olave. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Wolf. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake. Hoskins. He finds his man. Complete. That's Wolf.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. The tight end in motion right. Now this time he'll look to throw. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
He completes it to Olave. And the Raiders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Let's go. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Hoskins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Cade Otton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Panther 11, Panther 11. Bronco 80.
Now Richardson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Buffalo 18.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Nicky Manwari. And the Raiders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
On first down, it's Wolf. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Operating from the gun, Hoskins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Malik Nabers, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders have got it back to within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
Richardson working from the gun. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
Richardson. Now he's going to step up and run. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They clawed their way back into this game. First half, they were down pretty big. Now, all of a sudden, we've got a ball game. How have they done it?
First thing is what you just talked about, clawing their way back in. That means they decided to go ahead and fight this thing out, which is great. The second part is they looked at where the problems were in the first half, figured out how to shore them up, and have now gone to that part of the playbook that is actually working for them. A few adjustments, a few changes, and really good execution.
Now we'll see if that trend can continue. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
24-yard gain on the play. 1st down, Raiders.
They'll run on 1st down. Wolf. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Hoskins. He finds his man. Complete. That's Wolf. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Malik Nabers, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game.
31. Packers 27.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Here we go, here we go.
And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ready, set.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Get it. 60, Cougar 19.
Banjo.
Ready,
Richardson out of the shotgun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to have this down deep into Vegas territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 55 yards.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
on the jump.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Ready,
Off play action. Richardson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Finding Waddle crossing the field and bringing it in. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Come on. Set. 18 card.
2nd down and goal. Richardson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Richardson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
So here we go. It's Jake Moody now in a big spot from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. They could repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On first down, Wolf. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Hoskins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Yaya Diaby in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line.
Their own 15-yard line.
Ready, ready.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9.
Here we go. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 19 tight, 19 tight.
Back to throw. Richardson. And he rifles one incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
Looking to throw. Richardson. Well, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
It's got to have it time. 4th and 9.
Come on, come on. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Warrior 70. 19 Lion. Panther 11, Panther 11. Ready?
4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. A hit as as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. They do tack on the extra point as well, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
79 Broncos. 70. 18. 70 Lions.
Richardson. Over the middle, he finds Arroyo. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
18, Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Now Richardson. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 46-yard line.
Here's 2nd down.
Come, here we go, here we go. Panther 60, Panther 60. Ready, ready?
Here's Richardson. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Go! Cougar 19.
Richardson to throw it. That's complete. He's got Tootin. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 8-yard line.
Here's Richardson.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a two-point conversion to tie it.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's two-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the two-point conversion to tie the ball game.
Set up for the two-point conversion.
the Eagle.
Richardson looking to throw it. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
A crushing blow there as they cannot tie the game. Now the focus shifts to can they get the onside kick and have a miracle happen.
36.
And they have to have that miracle play that they've been working on, that they've designed. You don't really just draw one up now. You've had different onside kicks. Do they have that one weak point in the defense that they can exploit because they have to have the ball back?
And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Raiders, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.